There's an age-old question between whether pacifism really works or you need violence to get movements done, and that history doesn't necessarily bear out that violence doesn't work. I have a little something to add because I think that it's not yes violence or no violence. It's just the overall energy expenditure of your movement. Violence and resistance all the time doesn't necessarily work either. And this actually brings up for me the prisoner's dilemma. This is a situation where if you both cooperate, you get a better outcome. If you both don't cooperate, you get a worse outcome. And if only one cooperates, the person who didn't cooperate gets the better outcome. This is exactly the dilemma of the Cold War. If we both use our nukes, we both lose. Essentially game theory. There's a political scientist, Robert Axelrod, that wanted to know, if we run a bunch of different algorithms against each other on this problem, what is the best strategy when it comes to the prisoner's dilemma? They found that the best strategy is the one that is not cooperative all of the time, but is cooperative until their opponent is uncooperative. And then when their opponent is uncooperative, they show the willingness to forgive, but they also show the willingness to back up continued non-cooperation with a show of force. I think that this backs up mathematically what we already understand intuitively, that in a social situation, it's not good to always cooperate, always be the doormat, or always be forceful. That in a situation with an adversary, it is sometimes good to show the willingness to cooperate with the opposing side. But if they don't cooperate with you, to back that up with force. And that's not to say that nonviolence is full cooperation, because nonviolence is still non-cooperation. But in a situation where the state only understands violence as a show of power, you could make the argument that non-cooperation through pacifism is not a language that the state even understands. Coming back to the idea of overall energy expenditure, this is where the state always loses, because the energy of revolutions is one of solidarity, joy, love, showing up for each other, community. And that is a fuel source that you put very little in and you get so much out of it. The state operates by force. They're operating on the energy of some guy told me to do a thing, so let's go and do that thing. That is a fuel source that takes a lot. There's like a lot of wood that you have to put in an oven. The energy source of we're showing up together in community, that's like jet fuel. And you spread it out over tons and tons of people. Whereas the state is operating with a lot less people. So this is why the state always exhausts itself against the power of the people, because the power of the people can go on for ages. It is such a marathon energy, and the state can only last so long. Anyway, I'm done.